In his desire to escape from an attacker, an ordinary student accidentally summoned a holy weapon and became its spirit warrior. His name was T-Shan, and a college student who loved Sinology since he was young. His interest about it started because his father, named Changji, was also a well-known sinologist. But he and his father had different ways on how they learn about it. Because of this, he and his father could not get along since then. After they ate, T-Shan looked for a sinology bookstore near where they lived. He saw one store, so he immediately went to the location. When he entered the bookstore, he was wondering because no one was inside it. He scanned the books, and after choosing one, he suddenly heard a voice. He thought that the store was haunted, so he quickly ran out and left his payment. While he was walking home, he bumped into a woman who was being chased by 3 men. When these men caught the woman, they beat her. He was able to recognize one of these men, whose name was Lei, and a student at the same school he attended and was also known as a bully. He was about to leave when he noticed that the book he bought was dropped near those men. After Lei's group got the money from the woman, Lei also picked up the book and noticed T-Shan nearby. When Lei's group was about to leave, T-Shan stopped Lei because he wanted to get the book back. But Lei had said something bad about sinology, and this made T-Shan angry. He kicked Lei, took the book, and ran away from these men. Unfortunately, they managed to catch up with him. When Lei punched him, T-Shan avoided it and accidentally grabbed Lei's pants until it was pulled down that people took pictures of it. When he arrived at the square, the so-called Ward of Spirit Warriors was suddenly activated. And a few moments later, Lei came there with its holy weapon, the ring sword. T-Shan was beaten up, and when Lei decided to kill him, T-Shan was suddenly brought to a place with a big red gate. When he touched it, he was able to summon and release a holy weapon. After the ring sword attacked his holy weapon, it took T-Shan away and parried the attack with just one finger. While T-Shan was surprised that the wounds he received suddenly disappeared. The ring sword attacked again, but it was easily blocked by T-Shan's holy weapon. When T-Shan's holy weapon attacked, the ring sword just disappeared instantly due to the strong force of its power. Then this holy weapon could not believe and accept that the one who summoned him only possessed a small amount of spirit power. When Lei's ward disappeared, he tried to leave the area, but after a while, he gradually disappeared too. Meanwhile, from the top of a building, a woman noticed them. As T-Shan and his holy weapon walk on their way home, T-Shan asked for its name. But it replied that he could not remember much about the past, and it might be because T-Shan's spirit power was too low for him to remember. Because of this, T-Shan decided to name him as White. The next day, he was visited by the woman who had seen them the other night. She introduced herself as Qing from the Chu family, and she said that she was also a schoolmate of T-Shan. She invited T-Shan to talk outside, and while they were walking on the street, Qing released her 2 holy weapons, named Jiang and Moe. She did not hesitate to tell T-Shan her true intention on meeting him, and it was to buy White, but T-Shan did not agree on her offer to buy his holy weapon. When they got home, White told T-Shan about the Shang Yuan arsenal where powerful weapons from different eras were kept, and some of them were also ancient holy weapons. He added that they were classified into 4 levels from Huang, Xian, Di, and Tian, which Tian was the highest level among the 4. But according to legend, there was something even higher than the Tian level. White told him that his memory was not complete and he could not use his full power. Aside from that, White told T-Shan about the Spirit Warriors, which was the name given to those who had the ability to summon a holy weapon. Similarly, Qing wondered why someone like T-Shan became a Spirit Warrior even though his spirit power was poor. Then White also mentioned about the Tian Gang trial where the Spirit Warriors would compete, and the winner would be granted an eternal wish from the gods. Because of this, T-Shan decided to join the Tian Gang trial so that he could prove something to his father. While Qing also wanted to win in this competition and would do everything to get White, who was T-Shan's mysterious holy weapon. Because of this, she did different ways and keep causing trouble on T-Shan's life, until one day, they met again. So T-Shan told Qing that he decided to also participate in the Tian Gang trial. And she should wait because they would face each other in the battle. To Qing's annoyance, she decided to fight T-Shan to show him that being a spirit warrior was not easy. When Jiang and Moe transformed, White also transformed into his combat form. They immediately fought, and even though Jiang and Moe could see that White's level was D and they were at Tian level, they were still struggling because of White's unbelievable speed. Two spirit warriors of the Tianzun Hall, named Outyin and Nalan, came there too. It turned out that the Tianzun Hall had repeatedly invited Qing to their base, so Outyin took out his holy weapon, named Qixing, who was also a Tian level. White suddenly attacked Outyin, but his attack was blocked by Nalan's holy weapon, named Yuchang. Then Qing ordered her holy weapons to attack Qixing. On the other hand, White and Yuchang also started to fight. Yuchang could not believe that White was just a D level because he had incredible fighting skills. Qing had used the techniques of her weapons which caused Qixing's power to run out. Then Moe transferred the spirit power that they got from Qixing to White. Because of this, Nalan had suggested to Outyin to withdraw for the meantime, and Tishan started teasing them from losing the fight. Outyin had no other choice but to follow what Nalan suggested, and they decided to retreat. When they faced their leader, who was also a holy weapon, he was disappointed and scolded them. He wanted them to get Qing, and as much as possible they should prevent doing things to make her become their enemy. It was their goal to get all the weapons created by Yezi, and it included Jiang and Moe. Outyin suddenly mentioned Tiaishan and its mysterious holy weapon. While Qing and Tiaishan, together with their holy weapons, were having a snack, Qing mentioned to Tiaishan the two methods of the spirit warrior to summon a holy weapon. First was the death summon that Tiaishan experienced when he was about to be killed by Lei. The second was the formal ceremony that most spirit warriors usually do. Since Jiang and Moe were a married couple, she got the two instantly, so she could not summon someone with Tian level again. So Qing offered Tiaishan that they should have an alliance. Since Tiaishan helped Qing to fight the spirit warriors of the enemy, Outyin would surely come back to him for revenge. But what made Tiaishan felt anxious was when he found out that if the holy weapon dies, it would also kill the one who summoned it. So he found out that Lei had died after their fight. After thinking, Tiaishan decided to accept Qing's offer to him. Then he was taken to Qing's mansion, and he was surprised to see his mother there, who had been invited by Qing to live temporarily in the mansion. Qing did this because there was a possibility that the enemies might attack Tiaishan's parents. His father was busy at work, which they assumed was not at home and was safe. Then Qing also told them her plan to ask Tiaishan to summon another holy weapon, for he might get a Tian level. Since Tiaishan had no money, which was one of the needs in the ceremony, Qing offered that she would take care of it. When they started and conducted the ceremony, a holy weapon named Huaji came out of it, but she was also just another D level. At night, while they were wandering around the mansion, they met the other weapons of Qing's family. Huaji was annoyed when she saw them because they were the ones who would always fight with her. Tishan's mother also decided to go home because she had a store to look after. The next day, they began to train Tiaishan on different fighting skills, while White underwent the examination from a weapon that had the ability to repair the injuries of other weapons. After that, they also went to a store where Tiaishan wanted to buy a book about Sinology. Tishan excitedly went inside the bookstore. Suddenly, the reincarnation of Moe and Zhang's son, named Jian, approached them. The two holy weapons immediately felt that it was their son. Then Jian summoned out his weapon, named Su. White was also alerted when he quickly felt that there was a strong spirit power in the distance. When Qing activated its ward, Jiang transformed into his combat form and fought against Su, while Tishan and White quickly ran towards Qing in her holy weapons location. But even though they were already using their powers, those still did not work on Su. When Su used his extreme power, it was so strong that it even caused a big crack on the road. It attacked again and aimed at Qing. Fortunately, Tiaishan arrived just in time and was able to save her. Su attacked them again, but White created a barrier to block it. The enemy was surprised when he saw White, but since White's memory was incomplete, he could not recognize Su. Su was about to attack them again, when Jian was being disturbed by the voice he suddenly heard. Su immediately approached him and decided to leave first. After the fight, they returned home, and Moe started telling them about their past lives. She said that it started with the recognized first swordsmith. One day, they saved the wounded Jiang, and he became Yezi's assistant because of Zhang's talent in creating weapons. He also eventually became Moe's husband. They were able to create the Zhan Lu, which was recognized as the best sword of all. And this weapon was now the current leader of the Tianzun Hall. Because of the war, they were separated from Yezi. After a few years, the king of Chu asked them to create swords from flame iron and icy iron. Using their talent, they created the two swords. Jiang knew that he would be killed once he gave the sword to the king, so he asked Moe to hide the male sword. And as expected, after giving the female sword to the king ordered to kill him. But the king immediately found out about the male sword, so he ordered to search for Moe to get the other sword. Hoping to save their son, Moe sacrificed herself so that their son, who was reincarnated as Jian, could live. After that, an old man took care of Jian, and when he found out what happened to his parents, he decided to take revenge on the king. Jian was told by his adoptive father that if he sacrificed himself, he could avenge his parents. When the old man and the king met, the old man managed to kill him. He cut off the king's head and included on the container with Jian's head. Based on Moi's story, Tiaishan thought that Jian's reincarnation was affected by what happened in the past. And this might be the reason why he hated Jiang and Moe and its spirit became unstable. Because of Su's power, Qing decided to avoid fighting with the enemy until they came up with a good plan. One day, one of the members of the management of the Tiangang trial, named Yi, met with Qing. They talk about Su, who was said to be connected with Zhan Lu. Yi was able to confirm this because Zhan Lu invited him to live in its place for a few days. And there he saw how Zhan Lu brainwashed Jian. At that moment, Jian did something silly, then took a photo and sent it to Qing. After they saw this, Moe immediately left and Jiang followed his wife. Then Qing called Tiaishan to ask him to return and guard the mansion while they were away. When they came to the place, they searched the area but they did not see Jian. But after a while, someone activated a ward. And when she was about to call Tiaishan for help, her opponent destroyed her cell phone. Then they saw Jian at the top of the building, who was with another spirit warrior of the Tianzun Hall, named Roma. They came because they intended to take Qing to the base of Tianzun Hall. Since Qing still refused to go with them, Roma decided to fight her group. After Qing's spirit warriors transformed, Roma started attacking and targeted Qing, who was quickly saved by Jiang. Even though Roma was only a human, they were surprised by the strength that she had shown to them. They attacked Roma with their psycho shift, but it did not work on her. As they were on their way to the mansion, White explained to Tiaishan that Roma was using the technique called harmony installation. This was the unification of the holy weapon and its master, as if the holy weapon had already been installed on its master's body. Roma continued to attack them, and with her extreme speed, she only beat up Moe and Jiang. Since Qing could no longer bear seeing her holy weapon situation, she planned to give up the fight and go with Roma. But Moe and Jiang informed Qing that they had their full trust on her, and this gave Qing the power to do the harmony installation too. Qing herself already had the great power from refusion with Moe and Jiang. Meanwhile, the group of Outyin and Nailin executed the plan because they were assigned to raid Qing's mansion. As they were about to enter the mansion, Huaji appeared and confronted them. An hour ago, when they arrived at the mansion, White sensed that their enemies were coming. And since Outyen's group had not yet faced Huaji, they assigned her to confront their opponents. Huaji fought against Qixing until she left and let Outyin and Nailin followed her, while White had to face those enemies left behind. After a while, the other 3 holy weapons of Qing's family also arrived, and they easily defeated the enemies. On the other hand, Qing started attacking Roma. Roma could not believe on how Qing became so strong after using the technique. She even managed to knock Roma down, and with another attack, Roma was thrown into a building. They continued their fight there, and no matter what attack Roma did, she could no longer match Qing's strength. Roma decided to retreat. When Jian and Su saw this, they also decided to leave the place. While Huaji was fighting Qixing, Yuchang suddenly attacked Huaji behind, but White was able to block it, who came just in time. At that moment, Outyin and Nailin found out that their companions had already been defeated. As the fight continued, Yuchang used her technique to become invisible, then Qixing also attacked White. Tishan thought of a way to make Yuchang appear and had Huajin attack Outyin to force Yuchang to block the attack. It was the moment that White attacked Yuchang, but Qixing blocked it. Yuchang had a chance to attack Tiaishan, and Huaji quickly took action to protect him, but it caused her to be stabbed. Despite this, she still managed to attack the enemy. When Huaji lost her consciousness, Tiaishan was discouraged in the fight, and this also affected White, that he had a hard time fighting against Qixing. Suddenly, Moe and Jiang came there too. They immediately attacked the opponents, and Qing used her power to heal Huaji's wound. In order to speed up Huaji's recovery, Qing made her transformed into a weapon form. It turned out that Tiaishan also ordered the 3 holy weapons to help Qing regain her spirit power so she could quickly return to the mansion. After White's strength was restored, Outyin had Qixing use the Big Dipper. Qixing suddenly became stronger and Tiaishan noticed the 7 stars on the sky turning red one by one. After completing this technique, Qixing used his creation/attack. White immediately blocked it with just his hands, and while Tiaishan was watching it, he cut his palm with Huaji and placed his hand on White to give him more strength. Even though Tiaishan knew that he could be killed because of the amount of blood that he would lose, he still continued supporting White in this fight. It only took a moment for White to absorb Qixing's attack. When Tiaishan lost consciousness, White suddenly attacked Qixing. It was so strong that Qixing could not do anything and was defeated, so Outyin took him and they left immediately. When they were far away, they rested in the forest. Naylan suddenly mentioned that he had suspicion about Zhang Lu's order to them. Before he could finish speaking, White appeared to them and attacked Naylan from behind to kill him. White did not kill Outyin, so he was able to return to their base and inform Zhang Lu about what happened. Because of this, Zhang Lu got mad and decided to take revenge on Tiaishan. Jiang informed Tiaishan and Qing that Zhang Lu was approaching with Outyin and Roma. When they went out of the mansion that night, they saw Zhang Lu and its companions near the mansion. Zhang Lu demanded Tiaishan to summon White because he said that he was going to talk to him. When White came out, Zhang Lu challenged him to a fight, while he just watched them from a distance. They started to fight, and White immediately felt the strength and speed of the recognized strongest holy weapon. He remembered what he had told them that Zhang Lu's ability was called Xanapith, that's why he was very fast. Zhang Lu once again managed to injure White, but he was still wondering that White did not receive serious injuries and was able to avoid his previous attacks. Meanwhile, Qing's other weapons were preparing something in the forest. When they completed it, Tiaishan used a technique to strengthen White's power. When he noticed that Zhang Lu slowed down, he attacked Tiaishan. But he was surprised when Tiaishan suddenly did the harmony installation with Huaji. He could not believe that Tiaishan knew that he was spying on him. Tiaishan found out about this when Qing gave him only 10 minutes to return to the mansion even though he did not know his location. For it was Yi who suggested it, so he immediately realized that Yi was watching over him. It was the time when they found out that Zhang Lu was not the one who ordered Outyin and Naylan to attack the mansion, and White was not the one who killed Naylan. Zhang Lu mentioned about the debris that he was always carrying, which he did not want to give to anyone. Because while he and White were fighting, he could feel that it was responding to White. Zhang Lu also knew that Yi was good at face-shifting art, so they immediately realized that it was Yi who pretended to be Zhang Lu and ordered Outyin and Naylan to attack the mansion. Aside from that, he also disguised as White to kill Naylan. Tiaishan immediately attacked Yi, but Jian and his holy weapon arrived and blocked Tiaishan's attack. Because of this, Yi was able to escape from them. Zhang Lu gave White the debris which he believed belonged to him. When he placed it on White's chest, White suddenly remembered the other memories of the past. After this, Zhang Lu and White worked together to fight Su. But even if they attack at the same time, it still did not work for Su. Tiaishan also attacked with Qing and White, until White got a chance to attack and hit Su. Because of this, Su decided to use his full power. He took Tiaishan and the others to another dimension that he created. Their battle continued there, and Tiaishan came up with a plan to bring Jian back to his senses. Qing sends Moe to talk to Jian, but he just strangled his mother. Suddenly, White found out that there were 3 souls in Jian's body, called Trinity Fusion. Su released an intense power that knocked them all down. When Jian let go of Moe, he forced Su to do the harmony installation with him. Because of this, the dimension created by Su had also been destroyed, and they were able to return to real world. Tiaishan asked Zhang Lu for a favor, and they used their power to give additional strength to White again. Then Tiaishan and White performed the harmony installation. After Jian attacked him, Tiaishan just absorbed it and returned the attack to Jian. Tiaishan prepared to attack again, and when Jian was about to use his power, he was stopped by the 2 souls beside him. Because of this, Tiaishan was able to beat Jian, causing him to be defeated. After seeing his parents, Jiang and Moe, he also remembered what happened in the past. Then Xing suddenly received a call from Taishan's mother. When Xing informed Taishan about this, he immediately went to their house and found his mother unconscious on the dining area. After he moved her to the sofa, she woke up and told Taishan to save his father. She lost her consciousness again, so he took her to the hospital. When White mentioned that they needed to go and find Yi immediately, Huaji and Taishan was disappointed on his being insensitive in the current situation. White and Taishan had a misunderstanding because it seemed that White did not even care about Taishan's mother and prioritized Yi over her. So White decided to get out of the hospital so that the argument would not get worse. When they got home, Zhan Lu informed Xing that his men were searching for Yi. Xing approached Taishan and they talked about her mother. This was to give Taishan courage to stay optimistic after all of his childhood experiences. While Zhan Lu approached White and they talked too. Then White was shocked when Zhan Lu informed Hai that his master was a cat. Then he continued that Taishan's temper was natural because he had a family problem. And as Taishan's weapon, White should show more of his support to Taishan. So White went outside to Taishan and Xing. When he saw them, he suddenly remembered two people. When Xing left, Taishan and White had a good talk. But White suddenly hurt his head, so Taishan immediately took care of him. According to White, it was probably because of the debris that Zhan Lu gave him. After several days of searching for Ye's location, they finally tracked him down. They immediately set out to go to this place, which was located in a cave. While they were walking inside, Xing stepped on something which turned out to be a trap, and Zhan Lu quickly saved her. Yi appeared to them and he showed them Taishan's father who was bound. Yi brought out a portal that they could enter into a dimension where they could find him and Taishan's father. Taishan did not hesitate to enter it and White followed him. White was brought to the Shang Yuan arsenal and he sensed the Emperor Tai, who was his former master. While Taishan was brought to where Yi was located. Yi decided to approach Taishan, but White suddenly came there and attacked Yi. When Ye's mask was torn, they were surprised that it looked like White. Yi explained that he and White were one and the same, for they were part of the ancient holy weapon called Hongmeng Heaven's Bell. Since they could absorb each other's power, Yi offered White to be absorbed by him so that they could rebuild the power of the holy weapon. White refused this, so Yi decided to show him the day when Tai punished him for a sin which he did not commit. This was the reason why Yi was so angry at Tai. When White was about to attack the opponent, Yi was able to stop him using his technique, and Taishan was also affected by this when he approached White. As Qing's group continued to walk, Ye's disciples confronted them. But because of the strength they possessed, they easily defeated the enemies. Meanwhile, Taishan and White tried to use the harmony installation, but it did not work. Yi just laughed and used his power to them that made them unable to move. He informed them the reason why they could not do the harmony installation. It was because they had an argument that was against the principle of the technique. Yi once again showed White how they lived in the past after Tai rejected them. Then Yi tried to absorb White slowly. But Taishan said something to White which Tai also said to him before. Because of this, they had completed what was needed for the harmony installation and they were able to do it again. Yi took out his death scythe and repeatedly attacked him, but Taishan could easily dodged it. Until Taishan was able to destroy the death scythe, and this time they were the ones who did a non-stop attack on Yi. They beat him up until they used Wu Qi technique to defeat Yi completely. After that, Taishan immediately went to his father's location. White and Yi had a short conversation until Yi disappeared and returned to White's body. When Taishan saved his father, he was suddenly strangled by him. He took out a weapon and was about to attack Taishan. Fortunately, Xing's group came just in time to save him. After that, Changji left without saying anything else to his son. When they returned, Taishan went back to their house and searched inside. He was hoping that he would see something that made his father seem to have changed. He saw his father's wedding ring there and wondered why his father did not carry it with him. When White looked at it, he felt a strange spirit power which was similar to the one that attacked Taishan's mother. White added that he also felt this strange spirit power while they were at the hospital with Taishan's mother. Because of this, they thought that maybe Taishan's father himself was the culprit of what happened to his mother and conspired with Yi. But White said that it was not yet certain, and it was only based on his observation. At night, while a concert was being held in a square, the electricity suddenly went out. When the power came back, they saw Changji on stage. The presenter tried to ask him to leave, but it suddenly felt something bad and fell to the ground. Even the other spectators also felt something bad and lost their consciousness one by one. Changji's holy weapon, named Turfa, appeared and was the one absorbed the spirit power of those in the area. When Taishan and Qing's group met, they witnessed the great power of Turfa. He was currently fighting Zhang Lu, and when people disappeared at the same time, their spirit powers scattered around them. Because of this, Zhang Lu immediately found out what Turfa had done to them. When Turfa attacked again, he was able to beat Zhang Lu. Roma and Qixing helped in the battle, but they were no match against Turfa, for they were also been beaten by the enemy. Turfa said that he wanted to absorb the spirit powers of Zhang Lu, which Changji also agreed. While Turfa was strangling Zhang Lu, Taishan came there with Qing's group. Taishan asked his father why he also joined the Tian gang trial. Then Changji said that he was also a spirit warrior and the current vice president of Shangyuan Arsenal. He added that when Taishan was born, they immediately found out that he had almost no spirit power, so he thought that he could not bequeath his position to his son, so he hid his real identity. But as Taishan grew up, he saw many signs that he was the reincarnation of the Eastern Emperor, named Tai. He tried to stop Taishan from becoming a spirit warrior, but it did not work until he released White, which was the Hongmeng Heaven's Bell. He was supposed to get the Hongmeng Heaven's Bell, and together with Turfa they would be able to defeat the beasts and rule the whole world. He planned to use Yi to get the Hongmeng Heaven's Bell, but it was Taishan who destroyed his plans. When Qing found out that Turfa was the culprit of the spirit power scattered around, they immediately activated the Harmony installation and attacked him. But Turfa did not even get any scratch from their attacks. White rushed next and he fought against the enemy. As the two fight, Changji mentioned one of Turfa's abilities. Then he said that if Turfa's opponent was a man, its power could be doubled. Because of this, Taishan thought of using the Demon Killer Sword Square. But according to Qing, they would need 4 Tian-level weapons to use it. Due to the damage that Zhang Lu suffered, only White, Jiang and Moe were the only holy weapons left under the Tian level who could fight. Turfa released an intense power, causing Taishan to not be able to move properly. Qing's other 3 holy weapons came up a way to make Huaji a Tian level. They said that Huaji could achieve this if she would absorb the 3 of them. But once she did this, the 3 holy weapons she absorbed would also disappear from this world. Even though Huaji did not want it to happen, she was forced to do it to save their masters. After absorbing the 3 holy weapons, Huaji finally reached the Tian level. Because of this, they now had 4 Tian levels holy weapons and could now execute the Demon Killer Sword Square. They started attacking right away and targeted Turfa with their combined attacks. After they hit Turfa, it suddenly weakened. So Turfa called Changji to ask for another spirit power from him. Turfa regained the spirit power that he had lost through Changji's blood. Using Changji's connection to the Shangyuan Arsenal, they all ended up in that dimension. Then Changji informed them that while they were there, the holy weapons would not be able to use their full power. Changji and Turfa joined forces and attacked Taishan. Then Taishan and White immediately did the Harmony installation. Taishan started to attack, but he could not hit Changji. He used his sword, but Changji did not even get affected by it, and it managed to strangle him. Suddenly, Taishan saw another memory of his father. It was the day when he had a misunderstanding with his mother. He also saw how Turfa influenced his father's emotion. His father was forcing him to hand over White or the Hongmeng Heaven's Bell, but Taishan still refused to do it. Meanwhile, Qing could not move properly because the Shangyuan Arsenal was just absorbing her energy. Changji opened the gate of the Shangyuan Arsenal, causing the power of the holy weapons to be absorbed into it. Because of this, Changji gradually formed the power on his palm from those holy weapons in the Shangyuan Arsenal. Then he threw it at Taishan. While Taishan was trying his best to stop it, Qing and the others decided to give Taishan their remaining powers. After Taishan received these powers, he successfully stopped Changji's attack and his appearance also changed. Their fight continued, and when Changji used one of his techniques, Taishan used the complementary Sumuro Pith. Then he brought them out and rushed towards Changji as he carried those sheer amount of weapons. After he caused severe damage to his father, he successfully defeated him. But the Shang Yuan arsenal had not closed yet and continued to absorb the holy weapon's power. Because Taishan believed that he was the reincarnation of Emperor Tai, he and White tried to close the gate and they successfully did it. And this is the end of my holy weapon. I hope you like it and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss newly uploaded videos. Thank you for watching.